Come fly with me, let's fly away.
Welcome to week 5. As you can see by the foot that's going across, that my kids are back from their grandparents and they're nice and riled up right now. With it being, get over here, with it being halfway point, I thought it would be a good time to kind of have one of those break sessions. It's a good time, it's the midterm coming around, and I thought, what better thing to do than to discover the places of Oceania and Australia. So I thought that would, when most people think of Oceania, Australia, they think of a nice kind of break area, place that they want to be, deserted islands and beautiful ocean and coconuts and all the beautiful music. So tourism, which is a huge attraction over there. So I thought, why not? We'll do it this week. We'll kind of put it in the beginning. A lot of geography classes kind of put it at the end. It's the part of the world that is the most overlooked. Not a lot of stuff happens down there. Populations are very small, even though it holds a very big area. There's not a lot of people in a lot of these countries. I mean, when we're talking about Oceania, the biggest population is in Papua New Guinea, which is, I mean, when you're talking not very huge. So I'm going to try to make a little film. And hey, you guys, if you guys are good, maybe I'll take you guys swimming.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Can I make this film then? You gonna promise? Look at the camera and say, I promise. Look at it and say, I promise. I promise. Put your hand up. I promise. Alright, so I will promise to take them, and hopefully I can get this thing done quick enough time to do it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the film, and I'll get to you at the end. See ya. Located in what some would consider the backwater of the international neighborhood, Australia and New Zealand have not done that bad for themselves. The last continent to be discovered by the rest of the world, Australia did not really start having colonies established until after the United States became a country. These settlers hailed from England and were split between some who wanted to find their fortune in the new land and others who were forced there as convicts. Today, most of the population is European, as the Aborigines of Australia and the Maoris of New Zealand were pushed off of their land and to the sidelines of society. Gross mistreatment between these new immigrants and the natives led to some awful happenings committed by both sides. In recent history, both the Australian and New Zealand governments have tried to rectify the situation between themselves and their indigenous population through legislation, but in both countries, these people remain the poorest. Australia and New Zealand are quite prosperous for their small population size. Australia has protected its markets and has done well to produce some of their own goods, but in recent times has become more of a supplier of raw materials to the rest of the world, currently the nations of East Asia. New Zealand remains pastoral, with sheep outnumbering people and wool being their biggest export. While both New Zealand and Australia have their own independent governments, they still retain the British Crown as their figurative head, though the Queen has very little power. The land of palm trees, coconuts, and deserted islands. With white sands and blue seas, this is what a lot of people think of when they think of this region known as Oceania. While its size is vast, most of Oceania is water, with tiny islands dotting the seascape. The most populous country of the region is Papua New Guinea, which only has about 7 million people. Most other states have as many people as the city of South Bend, close to 100,000, while some have as little as 10,000 people. This makes it hard for a lot of these countries to exist on their own 2 feet, and many accept aid from outside sources. Tourism does make up most of their small economic output from this area. Most islands have been inhabited for centuries by people known as Pacific Islanders. You might hear Melanesian, Polynesian, Micronesian. All of these people traversed the wild sea in their primitive rafts, establishing their many separate cultures along these Pacific islands. This area most recently came to light to many in the West during World War II when the Japanese and Allies fought in the region for control of the Pacific. A lot of the wreckage from these battles can still be found on a lot of these islands. Other than Amelia Earhart's disappearance and the nuclear testing at Bikini, which gave us the name for the bathing suit, Oceania has been kept to the back of world affairs, a place where it does not seem to mind. As Asia grows in power, though, during the new century, there are some who are thinking Oceania could grow in importance. Only time will tell. There we have it, Australia and Oceania, places that are kind of the backwaters of the world. I mean, you don't hear about them in the news that often. They're usually, very quiet, laid back, and aren't major players. So, hey, you guys, I'll take it a little bit, all right? All right, go. So, areas that really economically have yet to really build up. Australia at the time was very, had their own economy, manufacturing, but really as the world economy has been growing, they are becoming more of a supplier to the world rather than a major economic power. New Zealand, known for its sheep. I think sheep, you go there, they're a very pastoral society where sheep raising is the main thing. I think a population is somewhere around 4 million, which you're talking slightly larger than the city of Chicago here. So not a lot of people coming from those areas. And then you've got these tiny islands that just speck the areas of the Pacific with very small Polynesian, Melanesian, Micronesian people that are in there. So when it comes down to it, it's a nice place to see. A lot of people I think it's more beautiful than it is. You ask some of the people who live there, there's some tough things that go on there, but a lot of it's overlooked by the palm trees and the beautiful shores and the beautiful ocean and the nice weather. So that's it for this week. Everything that you need to do is being provided here, and we'll get back next week where I think we're going to be doing sub-Saharan Africa. So we'll be going from this paradise to an area that has had its troubles. Well, it's a beautiful country. It's had its troubles, its fair share of troubles. So we'll be looking at that. So just make sure you stay on top of everything, and if you need any problems, or you have any problems, just email me and I'll try to get back to you as quickly as possible. Till next week, see ya. All right, you guys ready to go swimming?
I want to go back to my little grass shack in Kealakekua, Hawaii. I want to be with all the Connies and Vahinis that I knew long ago. I can hear the old guitars a-playing on the beach at Ho'o now. I can hear the old Hawaiians saying, Koma mai no ka ua ika hale vele ka how it won't be long.